FEMA is once again in the spotlight as an agency that is directed to offer federal disaster relief. Texas Congressman and presidential candidate Ron Paul says the program is inefficient and should be scrapped. Joining us now by phone, Congressman Ron Paul. Congressman, welcome. Great to have you here today.
Thank you.
At a time when the Gulf is being hit by a tropical storm and still cleaning up from Hurricane Irene, are you suggesting that FEMA is helping to ruin the economy?
No, I haven't said that, and I haven't called for the immediate abolishment of FEMA, so I think that's a little bit of misrepresentation. But when I'm asked, whether I think they're very efficient or doing the job or whether we ever should have had it, the answer is no. But, the hurricanes have hit our coast. I don't vote for that insurance because I think the insurance invites more people to take risky behavior and put their houses where they shouldn't be. But I try to make the program work. I'd like to make it, efficient enough to do the job. But it has no money. It's $20 billion in debt, and all we have to do is look at the history of FEMA along the coast. Whether it was Katrina or when they come in to help me in my district. Believe me, they're not very popular. I do spend a lot of time. It's the bureaucracy that I get the most complaints about, and all I is suggesting there's a better way to do these things.
But do you think the federal government actually has a role to play when it comes to helping people recover from natural disasters?
To a degree, I think rescue operations are obviously very good, but I think their insurance program actually does a great deal of harm. It's economically unwise to reward people for risky behavior, so it no longer is insurance. It's a free bailout for taking a risk, and they get the benefit. So yes, I think they do a lot of harm.
That's a blanket statement across the board for people who may not be living in areas that necessarily are hit repeatedly by storms and their homes get damaged by that.
For instance, it'd be nice if our guard units were around to help out. It'd be okay if our military was on our land, that they could help out and do the rescue operations. But our military's overseas, and we're the helicopters that belong to the Guard in Vermont. They're over in Iraq, and they've been waiting 5 days for helicopters, and they finally got some from Illinois. I'm just saying it's a very bad situation, and we took care of these things without FEMA before 1978. It's like FEMA is a magic cure, and if you don't have it, the government will always take care of us. But they're broke, they're bureaucratic, and they don't have a very good record.
All right, let me turn to presidential politics for a moment. You've been taking aim at fellow Texan Rick Perry, calling him, quote, the candidate of the week, adding that once voters get to know him, his numbers will fall. So what is it about his record specifically that you find misleading at the moment?
Well, first off, people had to prod me to say anything because I don't choose to talk about the opponents in a personal way or pick at them. I've not sent out any press releases. But when I was pushed yesterday, they said, what about them? So I tried to answer the questions as honestly possible. No, I mean, our debt situation went up, spending went up, and we have, still a lot of problems in this state. He did things with forcing children to have HPV inoculation. So I don't, I mean, I can keep listing them, but I don't choose to do it. And all I suggested was, yes, we've had a lot of leaders in this campaign over the last 6-8 months, and they last for a week or two, and then somebody else is a leader. So people need to look at his record and find out and make their decision.
Okay, so there's a feeling, though, by some in your camp that your campaign is being ignored by the mainstream media. Do you agree that your candidacy is being dismissed as a long shot?
Well, I mean, that's what others have come to the conclusion. I'm used to being treated like that for the last 30 years. So I'm almost very pleased that I get as much attention I do get. But when you compare the immediate reaction to me essentially tying in Iowa in a straw vote and not getting one single major interview, others came to my defense. It wasn't our campaign yelling and screaming. It certainly wasn't me, because I sort of take these kind of things in stride. And actually, the result of that was that became the news in itself, and then I had a lot of interviews just because it was so clear and so obvious that for some reason they're intimidated and are frightened about having me on the show. They either think that they don't understand what I'm saying or they don't want to have this message out. But no, I haven't been personally making a lot of complaints. Matter of fact, your program and other Fox programs had me on pretty generously.
All right. Congressman Paul, great to have you on board today.
Okay.
Thank you very much. All the best to you.
Thank you.